Today's video is all about the throttle body, and you get a bonus, and the mass airflow sensor. Mass airflow sensor, or MAF, is right here, and the throttle body is right here under this plastic. Try to clean both of them. Let's get started. Okay, as you can see, I have 2 cans of CRC Cleaner. This is the mass airflow sensor cleaner. This is the throttle body. Set the throttle body to the side for a second. Okay, we're going to start with the mass airflow sensor. The mass airflow sensor, like I said, sits right off the air housing cover and onto the tubing. Here's another option if you want to clean just your mass airflow sensor. Maybe you don't want to take off the throttle body and clean it. Maybe you don't need to change or check your air filter, and all you want to do is clean the mass airflow sensor. So after you disconnect the wiring, you're going to get this is a T20 star bit, and you can simply break these, which they're not on here that tight. Again, make a note on how tight they are so you roughly get them back that tight. Then you simply twist these 2 little T20 screws out. Don't lose these. Don't lose those. Take them out. And then this just your mass airflow sensor just slides straight up and straight out. There's a little rubber gasket right here, little rubber seal. So all you want to do is clean the little red sensor right there. That's all you want to do. Clean the red sensor in the front, clean the little red sensor in the back, then you're good to go. And then you just put this on reverse. Stepped outside, I'm in the backyard, well ventilated area. I have the CRC mass airflow sensor cleaner, and I have the straw attached. I'm going to spray and clean that little red sensor, and then down in here, I don't know if you can see that, I'm going to put a little burst on that as well, but mainly I'm going to clean this. And that's pretty much what you want to do. 2-3 seconds. 2-3 seconds. You want to do that just a few times. Let it dry a few times. Clean your wire. It's the wire. That little wire gets dirty. I don't know how good you can see it, but the wire gets dirty. That's all you want to do is clean that. And like I say, I'll put a burst in here. Both sides. Let that leak on out. Alright. Never clean your wires with this sensor. They have a different never clean these wires with this cleaner. They have a different cleaning can to clean these to clean the wire connectors. The wire connectors. So that's all you want to do. Now, installation is pretty straightforward. Get your 2 screws, your 2 T20 screws, put them on. You are screwing into plastic. Get it snug. You don't have to put your heart and soul into tighten them. Then you just put your connector back on. Click. You're done. Good to go if that's all you wanted to clean. The reason why you need to clean your mass airflow sensor is for a few reasons. They get dirty because, like me, I have an oil covered air filter, so sometimes the oil gets onto the sensor, or sometimes they just get dirty. That's why you need to clean them. And when you don't clean them, they trigger all kind of codes. You have a P300, P0300, random misfire. You'll have car could run too lean, car could run too rich. Sometimes just by cleaning the sensor will eliminate those little stupid codes. Now moving on to the throttle body. The throttle body is under this cover right here. Simply take off your oil cap. There's 4 screws, 4 little bolts. I've already loosened them, and then this just pulls right out the way. Sit that out the way, put your oil cap back on. Now, right here is your throttle body. Here's the throttle body, here's the intake manifold. Here's another air tube leading to the throttle body. So what we're going to do, we're going to we're going to take this clamp off right here. Take this clamp off, disconnect this vacuum line headed to the air tube. I'll zoom in, show you the clip, take it off, take the 4 bolts off. Okay, just releasing this clamp. That wiggles on off. Right here, let me zoom in. Right here, you just squeeze, and then you just slide that right off. And then this whole unit, you just wiggle it back and forth, and then the whole unit itself just comes right on off. Whole unit just comes right off. So sit that out the way, and this is what you're left with. Here is your throttle body. This little connector right here, this little connector, you simply squeeze it, and it just comes right off. So on your throttle body, you have 1, 2, 3, and then there's a 4th. These are 4 8mm nuts. So I'm going to take them off, and then I have throttle body in hand. I used the combination of an 8mm wrench and an 8mm socket to take out the 4 bolts. Make a note on how tight they are so you have a reference point when you go to put them back on, because the throttle body is aluminum and you don't want to tighten it too tight. All 4 bolts are the same, so you don't have to worry about putting them back into their existing slot. So all I did, I simply took the throttle body and it's just leaning forward. Here's a gasket. This is feels like a metal gasket. Maybe it's aluminum or tin, but it's a gasket. Now, when you're cleaning your throttle body, you do not have to disconnect these 2 lines. You could just spray it right here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a little tip. Here's a tip. If you see, my throttle body is really not dirty at all. So I'm just going to spray it and wipe it down, flip it over, spray the front and wipe it down. If you don't push it, as long as you don't push the flap, then you don't have to reset. Okay, right here, this is where your throttle body is connected, right here. And as you see, looking into the intake manifold, there's really not too much you can clean. So don't worry about that too much. Like I said, my throttle body is actually pretty clean, so I'm just going to spray it down, wipe it, flip it over, spray it and wipe. I'm not going to push this in, and by me not pushing it in, I'm not going to have to get this reset. If you push it in, it's a chance you might have to go to the dealership and have your throttle body mated or marriaged back to the computer. But if you don't press it in, you don't have to do that. So I'm going to show you just how much I spray and all it takes. Right here I have the CRC throttle body and air intake cleaner. I have a microfiber towel. I'm just going to spray a little bit. That's pretty much all you need, and I'm just going to wipe down. Just going to wipe it down. Again, I have a mask on and I'm in a ventilated area. I'm going to wipe this down, spray where my gasket was. Wipe down where the gasket goes. You can also spray your microfiber towel as well, or whatever towel you're using, just so that they're both clean. And then I'm going to do this side as well. That's all I'm going to do. And that is pretty much all there is to cleaning your throttle body. That thing is, it wasn't dirty to begin with, but now it's even cleaner. Okay, I explained why you need your mass airflow sensor clean. Now I'm going to explain why you need your throttle body. Your throttle body is kind of like your throat. It allows the air in to your engine to mix with the spark and the fuel. So your throttle body, it gets on the little lip, the little flap, which when you hit your gas pedal, the flap is what opens. It should be called an air flap, an air pedal, but it's called the gas pedal. But when you press on the gas, that flap opens, allows more air in. So your throttle, you'll feel when your car starts to hesitate a little bit, or it's lacking power at idle, your throttle body could need to be cleaned. Now, just like the mass airflow sensor, your throttle body costs hundreds of dollars, when sometimes cleaning it just like that with a $5 bottle of throttle cleaner can save you from buying an entire throttle. So let's go ahead and put it back together. Now that you know how to take it off, you know how to clean it, and you know why you need to clean it, let me show you how you put it back on. Here's a little tip to make it easy to put this gasket on. All I did was slide the 4 bolts in, and the gasket is held in place by these little fingers. The gasket, when I took it off, make a note of how your gasket is when you're taking it off. The gasket had a bow or a concave type of shape, and the concave or the bow was going towards the intake manifold. So you simply, I have the 4 bolts in, I line them up, and then I just hand tighten. I hand tighten all of them down, and then I get the ratchet or wrench and I finish tightening them. Don't over tighten this because it is aluminum. Just tighten that down. Here is the connector. So connect the throttle body. Connect the wire harness back to the throttle body. Get your air tube. Wiggle your air tube on. Bring the clamp around so you can tighten it up. Tighten your clamp. Don't forget your tube. You'll hear it click on. Checking all my hoses, making sure all my connectors are connected. Everything looks good. We're done. Make sure you put your oil cap back on, then you're done. It's just that easy to change your throttle body. It's just that easy to clean your throttle body and to clean your mass airflow sensor. Now, sometimes you do it like I did just for maintenance purposes. I just like to keep mine clean so the vehicle runs as smooth as it can. Plus, I don't want any check light. I don't want the check light to come on. But if you need to clean it for maintenance purposes, or if you actually have a cold, that just might fix it. Both of these cans, the combination of both of these cans was not $12, and I just cleaned a throttle body and a mass airflow sensor. Imagine if you need to replace both. That's hundreds of dollars you just did it by yourself for under 12 bucks. So, as usual, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Be sure to answer. You guys have a good one.